Assalamu alaikum, and hi guys, today we will be presenting organ transplantation, which is liver. And this is our group member.
Effects of a liver failure. Liver failure occurs when the liver loses its ability to function properly. This can lead to, first, accumulative of toxins. The liver normally removes toxins from the blood. When it fails, harmful substances build up and may affect the brain, causing confusion or even coma. Second, digestive problems. The liver produces bile, which helps digest fats. Without enough bile, the body cannot digest food properly, leading to malnutrition. And the second, can causing the blood bleeding problems. The liver produces proteins needed for blood. Liver failure can cause excessive bleeding or easy bruising.
Now we will talk about anatomy and physiology of liver. As we know, liver is an important organ in our body. The liver is located in the upper right part of the abdomen, just below the diaphragm and above the stomach. It is also protected by lower ribs, which help prevent injury to this vital organ. Liver is the largest organ in human body. It is divided into 4 lobes, which is right lobe, left lobe, caudate lobe, and quadrate lobe. Among these, the right lobe is the largest and the left lobe is the smallest. The caudate and quadrate lobe are smaller sections located on the underside of liver. In addition, the liver produces a substance that called bile. So bile is important for digestion of fats. So it will flow through small tubes that we call bile duct, and it's stored in gallbladder before released into small intestine.
Next, let's get through about the importance of maintaining homeostasis of the liver. The liver is a very important organ because it helps keep our body stable and functioning properly. So first, detoxification. The liver removes harmful substances such as toxins, drugs, and alcohol from our body. This is important because if these substances will out, they can damage our organs and affect our health. So next, control of blood sugar. The liver helps regulate the level of glucose in our blood. It stores excess glucose and releases it when needed. This ensures that our body has a constant supply of energy throughout the day. So third, metabolism control. The liver processes carbohydrates, fats, and proteins. It converts food into energy and helps maintain a balance so that our body can function efficiently. Then, fourth, storage function. The liver stores important nutrients such as vitamins A, D, E, and K, as well as iron. These nutrients can be used later when the body needs them, especially during times when intake is low. Next, immune regulations. The liver plays a role in the immune system by helping fight infections and control inflammation. It helps protect the body from harmful microorganisms while maintaining internal balance. So, lastly, regeneration ability. One unique feature of the liver is its ability to regenerate. It can repair and replace damaged cells, which is help maintaining its normal function even after injury. So, in conclusion, maintaining liver homeostasis is very important because it supports detoxification, energy balance, nutrient storage, and overall health of the body. That's all from me. Thank you.
Next, I'll be walking you through the liver transplant roadmap. This flowchart outlines the critical journey a patient takes from the initial medical decision to long-term post-operative care. The process begins with step 1, where the patients and doctor reach a mutual agreement on the clinical necessity of the transplant. Once decided, step 2 involves selecting a transplant center. Patients must consider factors like the center's location, the record of success, and waiting times. Moving to step 3, the patient undergoes a rigorous transplant evaluation. This isn't just about blood work and imaging, it also assesses the patient's mental readiness, financial support, and their overall social support system to ensure they can manage the recovery process. In step 4, the patient is officially placed on the transplant list. In the US, for example, UNOS or UNOS manage this process. Priority is not first come, first serve. Instead, it is determined by the MELD score, which measures by the urgency of the patient's medical condition. There are two primary pathways for receiving a liver. The first one is the living donor. This is a plain procedure that eliminates the uncertainty of waiting. Although it's accounted for less than 10% of transplant, it is a growing practice. This depends on organ availability. The center notifies the patients immediately once a compatible liver is identified. Step 6 is the transplant operation itself. This is a major surgery lasting between 6 to 12 hours, during which the gallbladder is also removed. Immediately following the surgery is Step 7, recovery. Patients typically spend 1 to 3 days in the ICU before moving to a step-down unit. A standard hospital stay lasts about 10 to 20 days provided there are no complications. The first 3 months post-transplant are the most critical. This period carries the high risk of organ rejection. Patients require frequent blood draws, strict medication schedule, and physical therapy to regain their strength. Finally, at the 3-month mark and beyond, patient begins a gradual return to normal activities. However, it is important to note that medication is lifelong, and maintaining healthy lifestyle changes is mandatory to prevent any recurrence of liver disease. In conclusion, a liver transplant is a life-saving by lifelong commitment. It requires a highly coordinated effort between medical professionals, donors, and the patient themselves. Thank you for your attention.
Physiological adaptation after transplant for liver. The first one is cellular regeneration and growth. The liver undergoes cellular regeneration where hepatocytes proliferate due to increased metabolic demand and changes in blood flow. This process is stimulated by growth factors, allowing the liver to restore its function and adapt to the recipient's body. Second one is metabolic adaptation. The liver gradually resumes normal functions such as metabolism, detoxification, and protein synthesis. And the last one for the adaptation after transplant is immunological adaptation. The immune system is controlled using drugs like tacrolimus to prevent rejection of the transplanted liver. Islamic perspective. It is generally permissible to transplant organ in Islam, but under conditions, which is disparate situations. If the patient is in a life-threatening situation, an organ transplant is the only result for him to live. And the second one is saving life. In Islam, saving a human life is of utmost importance and takes priority over temporary inconvenience or harm. The Quran emphasizes the sanctity of human life in Surah Al-Ma'idah. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم ومن أحياها فكأنما أحيا الناس جميعا. Whoever saves a life, it is as if he saved all of humanity.
In conclusion, liver transplantation is not just a medical procedure, but a life-saving solution that brings hope, restores health, and gives patients a second chance to live a better and longer life.
That is all from us. Thank you for watching.